We are in the middle of renovating this old house, and previously we gutted this space, rebuilt it, insulated, and put this paper up. Today we have a more fun and special job planned, and we're going to take you guys along, and that is tiling the floor in our entryway. This is an exciting project, and it almost seems out of order because most people who are normal and sane tile the floor after finishing the walls. We're going to be doing it a little bit different today. We'll tell you why in just a moment. Right now, the space is totally clean and prepared. We have a 3/4 inch OSB floor screwed down. And if we cut to a wide angle, you guys can see the space a little bit better. This space is about 5.5 feet wide and 14 feet long altogether. But the entryway is only about 10 feet long. So the extra 4 feet is this doorway and the bedroom door, and we're treating that as a separate area. So we're considering this a hallway, this an entry space. So we're only going to tile up to here. We're going to be tiling partial of the floor, and then the hallway space is going to be wood floor. We thought that'd be more cozy and separate the clean from the dirty space. So I just want to give you guys the rundown before we start so that you can follow along and understand what we're doing and why we're only tiling part of the space here. So we have two different areas going on. We're going to be installing Detra in this space. I love working with it. I use it whenever I can for tiling. It's easy to use, it's quick to lay down, it's slim, it's just easy to cut. Everything's wonderful about it, so I have no complaints. This is what we're doing. We're going to be mortaring it down to the floor with a modified mortar. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just for mortar. Let me just fix this for a minute.
Do you think that's
More. Now some people like to mortar right on their floor without any worry. That's fine, but what we like to do is put some masking tape on the cracks, because when you set your subfloor, you gap the boards, the sheets, at 1/8 inch for expansion, and we don't want to lose our gaps and fill them with mortar. So by putting some masking tape over them, it maintains the gap, allows your floor to expand and move with less chance of disturbing the tile or buckling. Just put it right in there underneath the door jamb a little bit.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's perfect. It's right there.
Just up to it. You know, that's probably what happened on the other one. That's too much on the back.
Yeah.
All right, the Ditra is finished and it's looking awesome. Not perfect, but pretty good. And now we can actually get right to tiling. We don't have to wait for this to dry, which is another reason that this is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up some more mortar, this time unmodified, and then we'll start laying our tile. And I think it's going to look awesome. We have them all piled up over there. We have our mortar mixed up, ready for tile. And I just want to say that Ditra, this underlayment, is an uncoupling membrane, and what it does is it separates and isolates the tile from the wooden floor. Because tile doesn't expand and contract the same as wood does. Wood can move quite a bit throughout the seasons. An uncoupling membrane is something that basically uncouples those two surfaces. So the wood can actually move independently of the tile without cracking it and causing separation. That's the whole point of this, is to give it that layer of uncoupling. Now let me explain why we're tiling the floor already before finishing the walls. Well, we picked out an 8-inch tile that we really liked. And what we found is that 8 tiles will fit perfectly in this space without cutting them. The problem is it only fits now and not when the walls are on. If the walls were on, we would have to cut the tiles all along the wall, and that would be a lot of cutting for no real reason. So what we decided is, to make the job easier for us, is we'll lay the tiles now, and this will be a no-cut job. That means every single tile in this room will fit perfectly without cutting it. And then we can put the walls on, and they're only going to cover the tile by about 1/4 inch. They're not going to cover much at all, and there's still expansion room along the walls. So it's going to be perfect. So basically, we're doing the tile now to save ourselves work and make this tile job super simple and not have to cut anything. Kind of thing is something I really enjoy, is when you're working on a home, letting the home kind of guide you, and that's what this did. When we found that we had a 65-inch space here basically, we knew that an 8-inch tile would be perfect because it would give a nice symmetrical look, and we found the perfect tile. So you guys are going to love the tile that we picked, I hope. They're going to define the area, like I said, front to back, side to side without any cuts. That wasn't something that we planned when building the walls, but it's something that the walls dictated when choosing our tiles. That's 3/4 of an inch on either side.
Okay.
So I'm going to slide these back. Oh, let me put one down and see how it looks. Let me just adjust these slightly. Get this first row exactly where I want it. How it's looking. I think that's pretty close. I'm getting too picky.
Yeah.
This is not the part to mess up, huh?
Yeah.
We're gonna stay focused.
Yep. And I'll make sure it's done right since I'm the supervisor. That's not right.
Oh, what am I doing? For some reason, I have no idea what I'm doing. Man, you get distracted for one moment, and then... it all falls apart. This way.
Yeah.
It's funny because I thought I looked at it too, but maybe my mind was like, I don't know, seeing it.
Yeah.
Boy, everything was going good until I messed up.
We'll try not to do that again. Focus on each one.
We're starting a new circle now. Like this. Plop. We're maybe a little over a third done. Looks awesome. This is going really well. One little mess up, that was kind of annoying, but we worked through it and got it done. This tile is really fun. Lots of decoration, lots of pattern. Looks really cool, but we got to be extra careful when we're laying them that we don't put it the wrong way. I got to keep working because my mortar is setting up and I don't want it to get hard. But here's some tips that we've learned, even though we're just beginners. We don't know what we're doing, but I'll tell you what we have learned. When you get your mortar down, you got to work fast, because if you let it sit too long, it'll skin over. It looks good, but the surface is pretty dry and the tile won't stick to it. You'll mush it down, you'll think it's good, it's not good. The second thing is really push those tiles down. We see this all the time on YouTube. People gently lay their tiles on the mortar and they go dee 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 and they think it's good. You want 95+% coverage on the back of your tile. If you want to do it right and you want a solid floor, you really gotta push it down good. And that's why I'm going pretty thin on my mortar, because I tend to over push. I really squish it down and I'll end up with a lot mushing out. You don't want ridges underneath. You want those ridges to smooth out and grab with a even coverage on the bottom of your tile. And that's what makes a hard tile. A lot of people have cracked tile, loose tile, or in their house, and that's because the mortar wasn't done right. And if there's any voids underneath, any air, any grooves that are suspending the tile, it makes the tile more prone to breaking if you drop something on it. So if you want a solid tile, really squish it down. And the other thing is always comb in one direction under the tile. You don't want to go in two different ways because you want the air to be able to escape. And if you have it combed in multiple directions, you can get air bubbles locked under there and they won't have a way out. I might work two too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Edge. You know, wonderful.
Can you believe we just had enough? Like, that bag was literally perfect.
Yeah.
Wow.
The last corner.
Yep.
Is there any? Oh, maybe that was big enough. Is there any more in the bucket, or is it good?
Like a quarter worth.
Guys, this is really exciting. Look how cool this looks. The tile sat overnight. It's firm enough to walk on, still in the curing stage. We're getting ready for grout. Now yesterday when we laid this floor, we really tried to do it as best as we could, and it came out really well, but we were really surprised to see this issue this morning when we came to look at the floor. These cracks right here, look at this. Totally crooked. This one's too tight, this one's too big. This tile shifted. Not just this one, and this one over here. This is supposed to be an 1/8 inch gap and it's almost a 1/4 inch. These tiles shifted out of place. Now that was a big disappointment to me and I had no idea what went wrong. At first I was like, what did I do? Did I not see that last night? But I was thinking, we had tile spacers in it, and I know those spacers were locked in and everything was pushed into place. I even went back and looked at the video of last night when we set those tiles, and everything looked so clean. The lines looked straight, the spacers were in, and I pushed them all in nice and snugly. So, the only thing I can figure is that last night, sometime while this was drying, they shifted on their own. They must have just pushed out regardless of the spacers and everything. Maybe they pushed out because it's at the end and there wasn't the force of all the tiles holding them in place. But I think there was a couple things that went wrong. Is on that specific section where those tiles shifted, I changed the direction of combing my mortar bed. So throughout the whole floor, I combed it this way, and right there on that last part, I combed it this way. And I'm thinking that maybe the change in direction of the mortar played a part in it, and also the mortar was starting to set up. This was the very end of the project, and it was getting toward the end of its usable life. So maybe there was pressure in it because it was, trying to think how to explain this, but if it's like partially drying and you push it this way, for example, maybe it has a tendency to spring back to where it was. And I don't know how to explain it, but that's just my mind trying to make sense of what happened. They were good last night, they're not good today. And as frustrating as that is, we're going to stick to what we said yesterday, and that is, if there's small imperfections, you will never notice it once the floor is finished and you're living on it. You just generally don't notice things. As much as you think you will, you don't. And so I'm not too worried about it, and there's nothing we can do unless we wanted to rip up the tile and start again. We're not doing that. We're going to take it as one of those things that happen, we're going to learn from it, and we're just going to start grouting, and this floor will be done today. That is awesome. We're trying a new grout today, and actually this isn't a grout, this is a grout replacement. So I've never tried this before. Here's the color we're doing. A nice silver. This is a rapid setting, all-in-one grout replacement for sanded and unsanded grouts. It's very smooth feeling. This says rapid setting 3 to 4 hours until foot traffic, instead of waiting overnight like normal.
Yeah.
No efflorescence. And efflorescence is like a white powder haziness that can make your grout not look so good and make it look lighter than it's supposed to. And it says no sealer required. So this is kind of like, almost like an epoxy grout, but it's not an epoxy grout.
Just mist it down for a bit. How do you mix? It's like, where's the water?
It's like, I literally think that the water is just sitting in the bottom.
It's like cocoa powder, literally.
Guess that's why they say mix it for 4 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Now I want to be careful. I don't want to add too much water because
No,
it's deceiving. It's starting to come together.
Okay.
Oh, look at it. I hope we didn't add too much water. Suddenly it's like coming together quickly. Okay, we have our fresh water and we got a messy floor. It's just starting to set up, so now I can start cleaning it. And that's all there is to it. We're done. The tile work is finished and it looks so good. The grout color we chose, we decided not to contrast, to blend it in. We used that silver gray. And I think that really works and kind of joins it together as one piece. It looks really good.
Yeah.
And that was easy. For once, the tile job went smooth. Couple of minor problems, but nothing crazy. Aren't you kind of surprised how quick it went?
Mm-hmm.
Usually our projects drag on forever and ever, it seems. But this one, 2 days, not even 2 days, we're done.
Yeah.
So
we did the deecher and the tiling like before lunchtime, and there was no cutting, so that made it quicker.
Yeah. We thought we were going to do this job like half a year ago, and we got distracted.
Yeah.
But it's done. And now you guys can see what I was talking about earlier, how it fits perfectly in that space. And right now there's about a 3/4 inch gap between the walls on each side. I thought it was going to be half an inch, but still 3/4 inch. And if we had the wood on the walls already, we would have been sliding the tiles basically right up against the walls tight with no gap.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not good. So by doing the tile first, we had all the room in the world to work. We didn't get the walls dirty. And there's expansion room. It'll be a lot easier to put the walls up now and not have to worry about that. And we're just so happy with it. It's beautiful.
I think it's cool how the design of it fits in that space perfectly, because it takes like 4 tiles to make a circle.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had 3 circles and then the border, and it just fit perfectly.
Yeah, and complete circles down the length of the hallway.
Yeah.
Until it stops right before the doorways to the bedroom and living room.
That's cool.
Really neat. Now we bought these tiles online, and we'll try to leave a link below if we can find them of where we got them. I don't know if they still have them right now, but we'll try to leave some links. But they're available from multiple resources. Shopping online for tile has been really fun for us because the stores are so boring. They have nothing good.
Ugh, terrible.
But online, wow, so many possibilities and so many options.
So with this kind of tile, you have to buy the inner tiles, the border, and then the corners.
Yeah.
So there's 3 different ones.
And since you can buy them separately, you could really create any kind of pattern or design you want, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
With minimal waste. We only had a couple tiles left over from this whole project, so
Yep.
Not bad. I don't think there's anything else we need to cover. This was a fun project. We got it done quick.
Yep.
No stress. And now we can move on to something else. We'll figure that out next time. So thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.
See ya.